So when you're practicing exercises with a chair, then make sure your chair is secure and can't move. So I have put my chair onto a yoga mat that doesn't slip. So if you have like a really slippery floor, just make sure that your chair doesn't move away. So maybe place it somewhere else. We'll start seated. I'll just turn around so you can see me better, but you can just stay sitting the way you are. So a great way of building leg and back strength is the transition from sitting to standing. And for some people that can be really difficult. So there are a few tricks that can make this easier. If your feet are super far away, it's almost impossible to get up. So the trick is to bring your feet a little bit closer. So you want your feet either under your knees or if possible even a bit closer. So bring your feet in towards the chair as much as you can. It is perfectly okay to use your hands on the chair or on your legs if you can't get up any other way. So use them if you need to, but if you don't need your hands, don't use them, because this also means you're building up more back and more leg strength. So you want your weight to come over your feet and then push the feet into the ground and get up. And then bend your knees again. And as silently and slowly as you can, sit back down again. And now you can bring your weight back again. So if you do want to use your hands, either at the back of your chair or on your thighs, then do that. And once you get used to that and you build the strength and you don't need your hands anymore, take them away. So lean forward so the weight is in your feet. And once you feel the weight in your feet, it's a lot easier to stand up, to push the feet into the ground. And then bend again. Your weight is still over your feet, and then lean back so you're sitting back. You can repeat this a couple of times to get used to that, to build the strength. If this starts getting easier, you can make this a bit more challenging so you start building more strength. So you're going to make it more challenging by taking your feet further forward. Again, you won't be able to get up if you don't get the weight over your feet. So do lean forward again, with or without your hands. Once the weight is over your feet, you may have to lean forward a little bit more and use your hands. That's perfectly fine. Weight over your feet, push up into standing. Drop down, bend your knees, and slowly and silently sit down. So see how much further you can take the feet forward and still get up. So you start challenging yourself a little bit. Another thing you can do here is chair hovers. So you're really building your strength here. So find a foot position that feels good for you again. Lean forward and then just hover your hips above the chair and stay there for a couple of breaths. So your hips, your back, your bum is not touching the chair. So you're really hovering above it, which means you're building a lot of leg and hip and back strength. You can straighten the knees a little bit more, bend them a little bit more. So see how this feels for you, how difficult this is for you. And whenever you are running out of energy, things are getting too much, or you have to take a break, just slowly relax again. Most importantly, I want you to breathe. So if you can't breathe or if there's pain, then back off, make it easier, or even take a break. So make sure you keep breathing throughout the exercises. So let's try this one more time. Lean forward, hover your hips, lift them off the chair, and keep breathing. And let's stay here for a breath or two. If you feel really wobbly here, then make sure you have something to hold on to, please. And release and relax. Well done. Give your legs a bit of a shake. You can repeat this as often as you like, as much as you have strength for. Just make sure if you get really wobbly or you feel you're falling, to take a break and sit down again. So we're gonna take a bit of balancing here. So for this get up, it's quite handy to have the end of the chair, the back of the chair, so it can help you, or you can hold on to it for balancing. See if you prefer to lift the leg that's facing away from the chair or the leg that's facing towards the chair. So for some people it makes a big difference and they feel a bit more secure when the middle leg, or like the leg in between, is lifted. So lift your left leg and then see if it makes a difference if you bend your right knee a little bit or if you fully straighten it. So choose what makes you feel stronger and more stable. Bend it a little bit or straighten it. And then your aim is to balance on your right leg. And balancing is something really important. So if your balance is not great and you need that for walking, for stepping over things, you're a lot more likely to fall and to injure yourself. So a lot of people then start to avoid balancing, and then their muscles are actually getting weaker, and their lack of balance is causing them more likely to fall. So it's really important to practice it. But it's important to practice and start easy and only progress when you feel strong enough to go further. So start with something easy, holding on to something, and if you realize that feels actually quite fine, then try to use a finger less. If this is fine, another finger less. So slowly you're taking the fingers off and you're only having one finger on the chair anymore. And if you see that this is still fine, then see if just tapping the chair every so often is okay for you. So if it's too challenging and you feel super insecure and about to fall, then go for security again and hold onto the chair properly, please. So see how much you really need to hold onto the chair. So you're starting to build the balance and the strength in that leg. And this is really exhausting work. So if that leg needs a break, give it a break. Let's try the other side. So see what works better. Straighten your knee or bend it a little bit. Keep that right leg in the air and then see again. The legs might be different. Do you need your whole hand to hold on to the chair? Can you take a finger away? Maybe two. How many fingers can you take away? So to still feel stable. And then start playing around. Whenever you feel safe and ready, then reduce the fingers and how much you are using the chair with your hand. And then see, can you balance for a couple of seconds? Only take the hands back if you need to, or obviously if you feel really insecure and you're about to fall. So this way, give the legs a bit of a break in between. You really start to build that balance, that stability. So another thing you can start working on here is a bit of hip strength, and outer hip strength is also really important for your back, for your hips, and for walking. So the first thing you can do is you're going to start with the right leg. Lift the right leg out as high as you can and bring it back. And then repeat this a couple of times. So if you can, it's okay to lean over a little bit, but avoid to fully fold over the chair. So stay upright. You can lean towards the chair a little bit, but then see how high you can lift the right leg and then slowly bring it back again. So this should help to create a bit of strength in the outside of the hip. And it's the moving leg that's working, but you probably also feel the standing leg a little bit as well, which is perfectly fine. And then you can turn around and do this on the other side. So I'm not turning around because then I'm facing away from you, so I just take my chair to the other side. And then you can change over to the other side. So see how many you can do. When you get tired, take a break. Maybe this is after 3, or maybe this is after 8, or after 12 repetitions. And then it's a quite easy one to do throughout the day, whenever you have something to hold on to. And there's a last one that we're going to do, because that part of your hip muscles is really important as well for you to be able to stand and to have a healthy and a strong back and hips. So hold on to your chair again and then try to push your left leg back. You can bend that knee a little bit. So think of driving your foot back, but also lifting it up a little bit. So the foot is pushing back and up, and then relax again. So try a couple of them. They're also called donkey kicks because they look a little bit like a donkey kicking back. And you know you're doing them right if you feel your hips, your bum cheeks, your lower back, your leg muscles work. Let's change sides and push the foot back and lift it up a little bit and relax again. So you're pushing the foot back and lift it up a little bit and relax again. Let's try 3 more. So again, make sure you're breathing. If you can't breathe, then make it easier. Back off a little bit or take a break. And the last one. And relax and give your legs a bit of a shake. So see how you get on with this. Make sure when you're practicing the strength in the legs and the balancing that you feel fine. If you already feel like you're a little bit fainting or tired or weak, or you have pain and you feel the legs would go underneath you, then rather skip it and take a break. Thanks for practicing with me.